Whew. Hi guys, my name is Chrissia Valiente. I used to have a podcast called 100 Days of Depression. I recorded myself for 100 days over the span of 2 years talking about my life living with depression and all the things that happened: addiction, heartbreak, stand-up comedy. And I got to the 100th day and I was still depressed. And I used to have these thoughts about oh my God, once I finish the podcast, I have to kill myself. Or once I finish the podcast, I don't know what's going to happen. That was a legitimate fear for me. And so recording day 98, day 99, and then having day 100 and then just releasing it into the world before I could have a feeling about it was a lot to overcome. It was a lot to come to terms with. I haven't ever done a project like that, especially for myself. And what I noticed was that doing the podcast, which the original purpose was just to keep myself alive. Do you know what I mean? Just alive, breathing each day, to have a purpose to come home to record. And people started responding to it. People started messaging me and contacting me because they were also feeling this way. And it was at least nice. I don't want to say it's nice to know other people are suffering. No, it's nice to know that other people feel this way. Because at times when you talk to people who have never had depression, who have never had anyone in their life have a suicidal thought, it doesn't make sense to them. Why can't you just tell yourself to stop? Why can't you just shut your brain off and, just ignore it? And you can't, because a lot of times depression doesn't come with a reason. It just affects whomever, wherever. But in my case, there was a lot of evidence for post-traumatic stress, for childhood trauma, for physical abuse, for, toxic coping skills. I had started drinking every day to the point where it didn't affect my my performance. And one day I picked up my son from daycare, blackout drunk, and drove us around, ended up in Peel region, which I still don't understand what encompasses Peel region, Mississauga, Brampton. And I was going to kill us because I was driving blackout drunk. And I remember day 85 was what the trigger was. Day 85 was the episode that I was going to talk about that specific day and why it had impacted me so heavily. Because that was a special day for me. I was preparing to move out of my parents' house after living here for 3 years with my son because I had to flee an abusive relationship. Loudly. I just gotta speak loudly. Can you hear me? Anyways, right now, what I have to do is call my pharmacy because I haven't taken my meds for 5 days. So that's not good. I don't know their phone number. Oh, here it is. Calling the pharmacy, guys. Let me get my drugs.
Welcome to the drugstore pharmacy, located at 985 Woodbine Avenue. If this call is pharmacy related, please press 1. To refill the prescription, press 1. If you please stay on the line while your call is
the meantime, I'm just gonna do some illegal drugs. I mean, they're legal, but not the way I'm doing them. Hi, Faye. I was hoping to get a refill on my prescription for Valiente.
Okay.
Okay, for both the Wellbutrin and the citalopram?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, now the illegal drugs. Okay. So the reason I'm saying illegal drugs is because I'm not supposed to be smoking weed. It's one of my goals to not smoke. I've been hesitating doing this because I don't know how people are gonna respond to it. And at this point, I generally just don't care. I've been sober from alcohol for 2 years in September, and I had been living without my son Noah for 2 years. And that correlation of being sober and not having Noah was not by accident. It was entirely because of him that I got sober. And then when I finally realized that I wasn't gonna get him back, I was like, I should drink because I feel sucky. Like, this sucks. I don't want to feel this way. I hate that I don't have my son. I hate that I got sober and I still didn't get what I wanted, which happens all the time, right? When you're drunk, you don't get what you want when you're drunk, but you also don't get what you want because you're not drunk. You gotta earn that shit, right? So, anyways, in a Hail Mary attempt, I thought, I'm sober, I don't have Noah, I don't know, maybe I'll try being with his dad again. That drove me to drink. I remembered why. I remembered every single reason why it didn't work. It was awful. They ended up living here with me for some time. I wasn't here. I was working most of the time, and I was at my dad's house. It did not work. It did not work. It was bad news. And so they left in the middle of the night. And I felt like shit ever since because the people in my life that support me didn't really know what I was going through, so I had a relapse. It was very lonely. I have resources, like I have AA and therapy and like groups and stuff, but it's still hard. And so I'm doing this because you can't stop me now. Well, now, this was like a few days, whatever. You're not going to be able to stop me.
Baby,